broken clock on the back wall, counting down till the last bell rings. You lock the door with the plastic smile, say this is just our little secret thing. Ink stains on my test paper, your hand leaning where it shouldn't be. You twist the rules like a gold ring, say it's love, say it's meant to be. Leave the kids alone, you're not a savior, you're a thief of home. Predator in school clothes, life in a cage is a place you go. See ya, Chomo, see ya, Chomo. We need justice, not a whisper, sorry, go. Leave the kids alone, leave the kids alone. You hide behind a chalk halo, fake men are on a crooked throne. They call you ma'am, they call you sir, you use that power, strip us to the bone. Female face, male face, same crime, same cold eyes when the door clicks shut. Courtroom shrug, they were almost grown. Light little sentence, deep little cut. Leave the kids alone, you're not a savior, you're a thief of home. Predator in school clothes, life in a cage is a place you go. See ya, Chomo, see ya, Chomo. Need justice, not a whisper, sorry, go. Judge with a tired handshake, gave her falls like it's half awake. You get years, we can count on hands. We get scars, we can't understand. Names on a list, they move you towns. Paper walls, you still prowl around. Kids in rows like loaded guns. You pull the trigger, then you run. Leave the kids alone, you're not a savior, you're a thief of home. Predator in school clothes, life in a cage is a place you go. See ya, Chomo, see ya, Chomo. We need justice, not a whisper, sorry, go. Leave the kids alone, leave the kids alone, leave the kids alone.
We'll head down to Texas. A Beaumont woman faces a first-degree felony charge for allegedly promoting prostitution involving a minor. This followed a March 2025 incident at a local hotel, or shall we say motel. Tori Marie Morgan, a 23-year-old, was indicted October 15th by a Jefferson County grand jury on charges of promotion of prostitution of a person younger than 18. She was arrested on Saturday during a traffic stop in Orange County after officers there discovered an outstanding warrant out of Jefferson County. The case began on March 16th when Beaumont police responded to a call at the Super 8 Hotel on Interstate 10. I still don't say it's a hotel, it's a motel, and a cheesy one. A man initially had called the cops there, saying he had been pepper sprayed by his girlfriend as well as another woman. However, as the officers were leaving, dispatch reported another call from a woman who said the man had tried to rape her friend. Investigators later identified the alleged victim as a 16-year-old girl. The minor initially gave conflicting accounts during phone interviews, but eventually confirmed that an incident had occurred. On March 24th, Morgan voluntarily came to the police station for an interview and confessed that she had met the minor at the motel, where a fight broke out between the girls over the payment for sexual services. Yeah, go figure. So Morgan then told investigators She brought the minor there to the motel room following the disturbance, where the girl showed her Facebook messages between herself and the man discussing the price for services. Morgan also reported seeing messages indicating similar encounters had occurred previously. So let me break it down for you real quick here. So she's a prostitute. She's in a hotel. This minor child gets involved in prostitution, or had been involved in prostitution, got into a fight with another man, and then so she steps in and decides that she's going to quote unquote rescue her. You know, she took it upon herself to pimp the girl out. So she went ahead and posted a 2-girl special ad featuring photographs of both herself and the minor. Well, 2 men reported to the ads, and they had sexual intercourse with the minor and Morgan for money, which the 2 shared. CCTV footage from the hotel captured the guy entering the woman's room in the early morning hours of March 17th. Morgan personally received money for an agreement to participate in the proceeds of prostitution with a minor. Solicited said minor to commit the act of prostitution with her for compensation, and did so with a subject less than 18 years of age. There's the legal terminology for you. Morgan has been in the Orange County Jail on the Jefferson County warrant for motion of prostitution involving a minor until now, where she faces Judge John Stevens.
Well, if this isn't poster for don't get intoxicated, everybody involved, the victim on a motorcycle and you in a vehicle, were both intoxicated. Different people.
The Anglican section saw the child. The first last year was added 10 years. Beyond was 25 life. Folks were back.
The victim was so out of it, he attempted to leave the hospital nude.
Yeah.
Which would have gotten some attention, I guess.
Victims years of age.
If we call the state of Texas versus Tory Morgan, that is you?
Yes.
Present with Mr. Dusler, your attorney, and the state's attorney. All right. You were indicted for the first-degree felony of promoting prostitution involving a child younger than 18 years of age. That is a first-degree felony, carrying with it up to life imprisonment. And the pre-sentence report has been prepared. If the parties had an opportunity to review it, any corrections or changes to it, state?
I've reviewed it, no changes, Judge.
In defense? No. Then it is made a part of the record for all purposes. And this is a cap of 10 years imprisonment. So it's a first-degree felony. You are looking at no less than 5, no more than 10 years confinement in prison. Deferred or unadjudicated probation can be allowed. Is regular probation also an option here in this case? I'm not aware it's not.
I think it is, Judge.
I think you can be sentenced up to 10 years in prison, and that could be suspended, and you could be placed on regular probation, but that's a conviction. But you're going to verify if that's an option.
So, sure, again, we know that it doesn't need. Check.
I'm looking to Pre-sentence report. How old was the child here?
16, Judge.
16. Okay. That was the child being prostituted by
Yes, sir.
this defendant and another. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Judge, on this situation, let me just first of all say that we're asking for deferred adjudication because she has no recorded criminal history whatsoever. This was a situation where she was, as acknowledged in the pre-sentence report, was personally involved in prostitution and working out of one of these hotels in Belmont where they're well known for prostitution activities. The little girl, the 16-year-old, was there doing the same thing at the same time. As indicated in the report, they met up, and this lady, obviously having more experience in this line of work, was helping her with advertising between the two of them, and they were participating in proceeds from that. The biggest problem was is we had an underage person that was involved in it, and she wasn't aware that she was underage at the time. She person had told Ms. Morgan that she was of legal age, and basically they were just participating in this illicit activity together. Again, it's not a good thing. It never has been. Unfortunately, it's the nature of the world. She does not have a criminal history. She realizes that it was wrong. She also realizes, as stated in the pre-sentence report, that she would like to get her life together herself, and maybe find something a whole lot better to do in life than this. And I think she's expressed a good deal of remorse about this, with the idea that she wants to clean up herself, as well as showing remorse for what happened here involving this minor child. Again, no criminal history for crimes of any sort, eligible for deferred adjudication probation. We think she's worth an opportunity to give her a shot at doing it. So we're asking for it.
State.
All right, so let me start with going back to the legal question you asked, Judge. This offense under Section 4303 is not one of the ones that's listed that the court has any limitations on. It's right in and around other charges that could be, which is why Your Honor, I'm sure, was wanting to make sure. So all your options are open to you as far as this is concerned, Judge. It is a first-degree felony, which means that it carries anywhere to 5 to life, as you know, Judge. It's hard to say what's the right thing to do with a scenario like this. It is true that she has no felony court history, but to really hang your hat on that is, in my mind, is a mistake, because she admits to all kinds of criminal conduct that should have been charged. So even, the bottom line is just the first time she got caught. What she's done here is been deliberately ignorant about what somebody's age was, and got a 16-year-old involved in the same criminal conduct, which is why this is an offense. It's why it's a first-degree felony. So when we look at that, the legislature, when they wrote it up, didn't say, well, on first-time offenders, we're always going to do X. You got to look at each situation and consider what is appropriate. To say that this happens at a known place where this occurs, I don't agree with that statement either. Unfortunately, crimes occur in our county, and this is one of them. And when it comes down to when we're going to determine what's the right thing to do, this lady assisted a 16-year-old to post nude photographs of herself online to encourage grown men to come and have sex with her. A child. That's why I wasn't going to offer probation. That's why I made a cap agreement, because I can't in good conscience say that somebody that does that with a teenager, if you don't like the word child, to say that that's okay, and that we're going to say that when that occurs, that the right thing to do is say, oh, well, I didn't know how old she was. And no, I've never been caught before, so let me have probation. Because I'm planning on standing in this courtroom on cases that involve same or similar facts, I want to stay consistent. And to me, this warrants prison time.
Okay. Go ahead.
Well, I've already stated what we feel is appropriate. She doesn't have a criminal history. She was engaged in prostitution, which she shouldn't be, but was not aware this person was underage, and this person also was doing it on her own before the two got involved. It's not like she trafficked her into that business. They were both there engaging in prostitution. They just started working together, which is no excuse, but certainly, in my opinion, does not warrant prison time on a first offense like this. I say give her a shot. I think she's been very forthcoming in her statements about her life, the problems that she's had, and she really wants to clean up her life as well as quit doing this, not just involving this other person, but involving herself as well. And I think the best way to do it is give her a shot at it. That's what deferred does. When you're looking at a first degree felony, if she messes up on deferred adjudication, I mean, that's up to anywhere from 5 years to life in prison. So I think that's a pretty big hammer hanging over her head. But I think it's worth a shot, and she's worth a chance at redemption.
Anything you want to say?
If I would have known that girl was not 18, that whole situation would have went completely different.
In what way?
I definitely wouldn't have posted her, and definitely would have took different precautions after I had helped her get her things from.
But you would have continued the prostitution ring going if she was older than a child, right? That's what you were doing. You were running a prostitution ring, weren't you? Oh, you weren't? I'm sorry. You created and posted online advertisements on Skip the Games, a website known for prostitution, advertising both you and the child. You admitted to requesting and posting nude photographs of the child, which were used in the advertisements. Is my probation officer false and misleading me, or is that true?
That is true.
Yeah, you were running a prostitution ring. Thank you for helping the quality of Beaumont get better. This is what this city is supposed to stand for? Prostitution? Vice? Well, you were responsible for it. You were the madam. No, too many good people are in this town and this county. We don't need people like you who just think it should be used for immoral purposes only. That's immoral. So you do it anyway. And you acknowledge that you were using this child as a prostitute. You're trying to say, I didn't realize she was younger than 18, so let me go home. No, you stand for immorality and you stand for problems. This isn't what this quality of life in this city and county are supposed to be all about. The leadership around here work too hard, and the people, by and large, are wonderful people. People like you who make money off of immorality and the mistakes and the promotion of children into vice and illegality. You kind of drag down what we're all trying to keep maintained, and that is a quality of life, so people can come to this county and enjoy life
I understand.
in spite of you. You understand, but you continue to do it.
That's not what I want for my life anymore.
It's not what you want. Why? Because you got caught. It wasn't your choice. No, you got caught. This wasn't your choice. Then you're just worried about you. Well, how about the child that you've misled, and corrupted? Any remorse for that her soul and her life?
Major.
Yeah, well, you promoted her. You know better.
Judge, it's no excuse, but I think, again, she was very forthcoming about her family history as well. And I think it says a lot, the way she was raised, that she's been in foster care since she was 12 years old herself because both of her parents were incarcerated. You know, she didn't.
How did that work out for you?
She didn't grow up with very good
How did that
parents.
work out for you?
Not the greatest.
Well, so why would you make life miserable for someone else if you knew that wasn't the quality of life? All right.
It's not a very good role model. But anyway, again, it's no excuse, but just maybe an explanation of how she got involved in these type of things.
Anything else? Anything from Steve?
Yeah, Judge, I want to just kind of point your attention to the PC. Do you have a copy of that?
Stand by.
Here's mine. Judge. Yeah, and what I want to highlight there is that
You go. Okay.
by all appearances, if you consider other versions that were offered, it seems like the 16-year-old was at risk involving somebody else that may have been potentially trafficking her, and she basically jumps out of that grease into this fire, where instead of somebody gets her to help and leads her in the right direction, she then takes away from that bad situation and gives her this situation instead. And that's all from the PC information. What got the law enforcement's attention was the 2-for-1 special they were running, posting on Skip the Games. So I looked to see if that information was highlighted in the PSI.
Of course, she and the child would work together.
Yes, sir.
In the
Yes, sir.
sexual act.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Nah, I think we feel dirty enough already talking about all of this.
Thank you, Judge.
Anything else you want to add?
No.
Ma'am? If not, I'm going to find you have pleaded guilty today voluntarily. You are mentally competent to do so to this first-degree felony of promoting prostitution of a child younger than 18. There's sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea from State's Exhibit 1 admitted here to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. I now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of this offense. And I am following this agreement. You are, which is a cap of 10 years imprisonment. You are hereby sentenced to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 10 years. What is the price? What is right of the loss of innocence of a child? I keep repeating that. That was your fault. That was yours. You made a immoral life for that child by marketing her for sexual purposes and making money off of it. Shame on you. You hurt this city and county. We stand for something of more of a quality of life than that. That is immoral. It's illegal, and it's a child who was being sexually assaulted each time, and you were the madam. You were the person responsible for it. You were the organizer and the manager of it. Shame on you. But shame on anybody who promotes prostitution, especially of a child, because you can't have innocence back of a child when it's taken away. That's not for you. That wasn't for you to be responsible for, but you paid the price. And she's suffering, I'm sure, the harm as a victim of this. But it's all a bad, terrible, immoral structure, because it takes people willing to have sex illegally, promoting it, and the prostitution, and the people who are involved in taking part in the acts. But this is a child, and you pay a price. Adults pay a price when they harm children on this court's watch. Do you understand what's happened? That is all.
Your Honor, may I ask the court to consider withholding imposition of the sentence and placing her on regular probation?
Yeah, I've considered that. And this is a child who was sexually molested. You organized it. You think that is what that's what this court stands for, is making light out of that? No. When we catch you, you're going to be prosecuted. You're going to be punished to set an example. That's not what Beaumont and Southeast Texas stands for. We stand for quality of life. This isn't a prostitution, a place where prostitution is condoned, especially of children. Shame on you. Can you give back that child's innocence that was taken away that you organized? No. It has a price. It has a value, which our Creator gave. You should never take that away. Shame. But you will pay a price, and anyone in your situation on my watch will. We stand for something better than that in this area. Shame. We're setting good examples as best we can in spite of you. You need to fix your mess. Yeah, it's just not you. You're harming others. Children. That's why you're sentenced. That is all. Here. Thank you. Mr. Johnson, you got something? Come on, yeah.
A former Jasper County teacher has pleaded guilty to sexual battery involving a minor. Joe Sanchez entered his plea today. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison, 5 years to serve, followed by 5 years of supervised release. Jasper County deputies say Sanchez was arrested in July 2024 after a teenager and the teen's mother filed a complaint. Investigators say they found evidence to support those claims. The incidents happened off school grounds and did not involve a family member.
A judge in Madison County handed down a 60-year prison sentence to a convicted child molester today. Court documents say police arrested 63-year-old John Rady after he raped a teenager multiple times back in 2022. He was found guilty of 2 counts of child molesting and a count of intimidation. After a 3-day jury trial, the judge determined Rady to be a sexually violent predator. It says he'll be required to register as a sex offender for life.
All new at noon, an Athens man is facing just under 300 cybercrime charges in Louisiana. He's accused of coercing a young girl to harm herself and encouraging her to take her own life after getting her to send him nudes. Now, 24-year-old Landon Westfall is charged with 2 counts of criminal assistance to suicide, 261 counts of indecent behavior with a juvenile, and 15 counts of child pornography. Officials with Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office say that in October, they learned the teen girl sent nude photos of herself to Westfall. The two met through an online gaming platform, Roblox. Authorities say Westfall verbally threatened her. He also allegedly coerced the victim to cut herself and kill herself. Westfall was arrested on February 9th and taken to Louisiana. Federal charges are expected.
A Galveston man will spend less than 3 years in prison after pleading guilty to child sex assault. We want to thank you for joining us this evening. I'm Keith Garvin.
And I'm Stefania Jimenez. Tony Mason was sentenced late last month and has to register as a sex offender. We want to show you his latest mugshot in a long series of arrests. Tonight, the president of Galveston's police union is calling Mason's plea deal a, quote, slap on the wrist.
KPRC 2 News reporter Jaewon Jung joins us live from the newsroom with Mason's lengthy criminal history. Jaewon.
Keith and Stefania, I found Tony Mason's criminal history spans 3 decades. Yet under this plea deal, he could be a free man in just over a year. Tonight, questions were made about how this deal was reached. This is 46-year-old Tony Mason. Over the past 3 decades, he's been arrested more than a dozen times. Charges include assault, resisting arrest, possession of a controlled substance, family violence assault, and most recently, child sexual assault.
This wasn't a case that there was a lot of debate in.
Anthony Rogers is president of the Galveston Municipal Police Association. He tells me this case was cut and dry.
They had a video confession. They had a written confession from Tony Mason. And they had DNA results that he impregnated the victim.
Despite this, Mason was offered a plea deal. Aside from 1 child sex assault charge, his other 7 charges were dropped. He was sentenced to 3 years in prison and received 628 days of jail time credit. That means he could be back on the streets by May 12, 2027 at the latest.
It was a slap in the face to the victims, and it was a slap in the face to our members, to the detectives who worked tirelessly to bring justice in this case.
According to court documents, Mason sexually assaulted a child under the age of 17 in 2023 and got her pregnant. He was then indicted for violating his protective order twice within a year. The grand jury found while Mason was out on bond, he sexually assaulted the same victim and got her pregnant again. How does this outcome affect public safety in the community?
We hope it doesn't, but it's inevitable that we're letting a lifelong criminal back on the streets rather soon.
Court documents show Mason must register as a sex offender and pay a fine of $150, $100 as child abuse prevention, and $50 as a Children's Advocacy Center fine. I also reached out to the Galveston County DA's office to ask why this plea deal was offered. Despite Mason's criminal history, I have not heard back. Live in the newsroom, Jaewon Jung, KPRC 2 News.
The Genesee County Sheriff says a man was arrested accused of trying to have sex with a minor after an investigation revealed his concerning online search history.
Child trafficking escort, medicine to keep kids asleep, drugs keep kids knocked out, and baby sex toys. These are the searches that, because of the investigation that Ghost did, we found that this behavior tied into the Ghost operation is exactly why we do these undercover ops.
Sheriff Chris Swanson says back in December, Mark Anthony Taylor answered an ad to meet up with a minor. Taylor was arrested, which led to investigators finding disturbing searches on his phone. One deputy investigator with the Genesee Human Oppression Strike Team, also known as Ghost, says Taylor used an app called Telegram to exchange pornographic material.
You can text, you can send pictures, videos, make phone calls. When you create this account, there's no verification process. You can put whatever name, username you want. There's no tracking it, and they're not based in the U.S., so they don't work well with law enforcement.
Taylor has been charged with 17 felonies and, if convicted, faces several decades behind bars.
Kentucky State Police have arrested a Casey County man on multiple child sexual exploitation charges. Troopers say Thomas Hagan Woods, 34, was arrested Tuesday in Liberty following an undercover investigation by the KSP's Electronic Crimes Branch as part of the Internet Crimes Against Children's Task Force. Investigators allege Woods distributed and possessed sexually explicit material involving minors online. A search warrant was executed at a residence in Liberty, and electronic devices were seized for forensic examination. Woods faces multiple felony charges and was lodged in the Casey County Detention Center. This investigation remains ongoing.
Evening, a former West Michigan orthodontist will serve 60 years in prison after pleading guilty to child exploitation in October. Thanks for joining us on News Channel 3 Live at 6 on this Monday. I'm Andy Dominiani.
And I'm Jessica Hardhorn. 44-year-old Thomas Shannon once operated orthodontist offices in Granville and Plainwell, and now he'll be serving a long time in prison. News Channel 3's Autumn Pitcher joining us live in the studio tonight. And Autumn, this sentence comes on the heels of federal charges that were issued last August.
Yeah, that's right. Shannon had been out on bond since 2023, awaiting a trial on state child pornography charges when investigators with Homeland Security discovered he had been producing and selling child porn on an online network. The judge spared no emotion for Shannon when giving him a harsh sentence today, saying this is the most horrendous case he has seen in the 30 years he's worked in state and federal court. Former West Michigan orthodontist Thomas Shannon in federal court for sentencing. Cameras weren't allowed in, but I sat in and watched as the 44-year-old read this lengthy letter apologizing for the harm he caused his victims and their families. Calling himself arrogant and entitled, saying he rarely thought about how his actions affected other people. Questioning, quote, "How did I not see how destructive my online behavior was?" Even admitting his behavior would have never stopped if not for a federal search of his boat in Grand Haven. That search in 2024 when he was out on bond awaiting a trial for state pornography charges that came about in 2023 when a slew of photos of young children and infants were found on his phone. Court records show while out on bond, Shannon had been chatting with a 13-year-old girl from Maryland online. Investigators with Homeland Security finding that the former orthodontist had been producing and selling child pornography on an online network. Court records show he exploited nearly 20 young children between 2019 and 2024, with some as young as 12 years old. The judge giving him the maximum 60-year sentence, calling his need to exercise power over young people horrendous. This sentence after Shannon pled guilty in October to the federal charges, including sexual exploitation and attempted sexual exploitation of a minor. Shannon telling the judge he hopes his victims can heal and he will regret what he did for the rest of his life. And the state charges were dropped, and as a part of the plea deal, Shannon waived his rights to appeal his sentence. We're also hearing from the United States Attorney's Office for the Western District of Michigan. The attorney says he's not at all surprised by the sentence today and that preying on children has to stop. We will have his full statement on our website, www.mt.com. Live in studio, Autumn Pitcher, News Channel 3.
Autumn, thank you.
A man who pleaded guilty to kidnapping and child abuse in Fernley has been sentenced to 3 consecutive terms of 5 years to life in prison. As we've been reporting, Lyon County deputies found Guillermo Aboitis Saavedra at a home with 3 children trapped in a crawl space last May. 2 of them had substantial injuries. Aboitis Saavedra will be eligible for parole after 15 years.
A local wrestling coach is now facing charges. Thomas Ketchen Carter was arrested last week for rape and sodomy in Boone County. Court documents say he engaged in a sexual relationship with a 15-year-old girl. He was her wrestling coach. According to the documents, they made sexual contact 15 times, and he allegedly confirmed the relationship to detectives when they came to his home. His bond has been set at $500,000. He'll be in court on Friday.
Well, a man will spend the next 15 years behind bars for child sex crimes. This morning, Angel Colazo entered a guilty plea rather than face a possible 99 years in prison. He was arrested and indicted back in 2023. He also faces a federal offense for which no bond has been set.
Breaking news from Utah. The multimillionaire creator of Squatty Potty just got busted for buying child porn. Robert Edwards, 50, co-founded the famous toilet stool after pitching it on Shark Tank with his mom. Made millions. Now, feds say he was in online group chats trading child sexual abuse material for years. They found videos on his phone downloaded just 2 weeks before the raid. He's pleading not guilty. Judge ordered him held without bail. From constipation solutions to federal prison. Please do like and comment your opinion below.
An Amber Alert for a 12-year-old girl out of North Austin is in effect right now. The Texas Department of Public Safety says Jaslyn Nzora was last seen early yesterday morning near where I-35 meets Wells Branch Parkway. The Travis County Sheriff's Office now says investigators found a man connected to Jaslyn's disappearance, and J-logs showed he has been arrested for harboring a runaway child. But police still have not found Jaslyn. She has black hair and brown eyes and is about 5'3". She was last seen wearing a red sweater, Christmas-themed pants, and a Nike backpack. If you know where she is, call 911.
Also in the news, a federal judge sentenced a former Hamilton County school teacher to nearly 19 years in federal prison.
Kenya White pleaded guilty to child sex crime charges on the federal level. The judge also ordered him to attend sex offender therapy, alcohol therapy, and mental health therapy. Lydia Nathan was in the courtroom when the sentencing happened.
The defense made 7 objections prior to sentencing. Attorney McCracken Poston objected to various language within the court documents. White also blames alcohol for his actions. White was arrested a year ago for child sex crimes that happened in 2023. He was employed by Chat Prep at that time, but still under DCS investigation from East Lake Academy. White was not background checked and was one of several unlicensed teachers at Chat Prep.
Most everyone would argue that justice was done. My client did not get the sentence he could have gotten. He still got a pretty harsh sentence, but you know that comes with the territory.
In June 2024, White pleaded guilty to federal charges of enticement of a minor. White is also facing state-level charges. He is set to appear in the Hamilton County Court March the 6th. We'll be sure to be there and keep you updated. Reporting in Chattanooga, Lydia Nathan, Local 3 News.
A former IMPD officer is sentenced to 72 years in prison for child molestation and other child sex crimes. The investigation into Kamal Bola started in 2024 after a recording device was found in a room of an underage girl in Hendricks County. Police then discovered Bola committed repeated acts of sexual misconduct against the girl over an extended period of time. He resigned from IMPD in 2024 and was convicted last month.
Weekend, and he's now facing multiple charges linked to child pornography. Let's get to Khalil Maycock live in the newsroom. Khalil, what more are you learning about this case tonight?
Yeah, Michigan State Police say the cyber tip came through the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and it evolved from there. That's what the investigation started with. And this case, they say, none of the victims so far appear to have been clients of this doctor. Between these files from the Michigan court case search and this news release from the Michigan State Police, I was able to learn more about 42-year-old Brian Sack. He's a pediatric urologist. I don't have his mugshot, but Sack was arrested on 6 charges. They range from aggravated possession of child sexually abusive material to using a computer to commit crimes. According to the Michigan State Police Computer Crimes Unit, Sack, who was a children's doctor of urology at Nationwide Children's Hospital, was arrested following a cyber tip. It came to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Once that tip was investigated, a search warrant was conducted at Sack's home where digital evidence was seized. I did reach out to MSP's Computer Crime Unit to ask if they had more information to provide. They didn't. But they do tell me that none of the victims in this case appear to be Sack's patients. However, they did say it's important for parents to monitor what their kids are doing online.
The main piece is to keep that communication open and honest and as forthright as fast as you can. Knowing passwords for accounts, knowing what applications the child is using or being contacted through are all good things to encourage.
And Sack is expected to be back in court next month. And I did reach out to Nationwide Children's Hospital in Toledo, where Sack worked last for about 18 months. They sent a statement saying, in part, "We are deeply shocked and concerned by this situation. Upon learning of the charge, Dr. Sack was immediately terminated and no longer has access to our patients' facilities or medical records." Now, more information on how to talk to your children can be found inside of this article on clickondetroit.com.
Okay. I need you to state your name for the record.
Yes, ma'am. Terrence Darrell Gaines Jr.
Okay, again, good morning, Mr. Gaines, and sir, thank you for your patience.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the court is calling case number 82-257-19337. The people of the state of Michigan versus Terrence Darnell Gaines Jr. Has a couple of aliases. Terrence Gaines, Terrence Darrell Gaines, Terrence Darrell Gaines. Okay, appearances, please. Mr. Brico?
Judge Miguel Brico, on behalf of Mr. Gaines, my client's been advised of his constitutional rights. He waives a full reading of the complaint, stands mute.
All right, then, thank you. The court will enter a not guilty plea on your behalf, Mr. Gaines. Mr. Brico? No, let me hear from the officer on this one. Brassfield, Detective Brassfield? Is someone there present with you, Mr. Gaines? Oh,
yes,
okay.
yes. Detective Brassfield.
All right. You have any input as it relates to a bond for Mr. Gaines?
Detective Brassfield's on his way back here. He'll be here in a minute.
Oh, he's on his way back. Okay, I didn't hear you. Okay.
No worries.
All right. Well, we go ahead. We'll hear from. Go ahead, Mr. Brico. You can give your pitch, or if you want to wait.
Judge, I'll make my argument. I think that when the detective comes, just keep that in mind. Judge, on behalf of Mr. Gaines, my client's only 21 years old. Judge, these are very serious allegations. I went through them with my client, explained to him the maximum penalties. And again, through the interview, we learned some surprising things together, Judge. There are a lot of things in this report. This is a very intensive and diligent investigation. But, Judge, there's only one side that we're hearing of it, which is the complainants. And it doesn't match or corroborate with my client's side and other involved others, too, Judge. There are some strange things happening here. He's being charged with the possession of material, which is the most serious of these allegations. Just to note, for the record, that the person that is alleged to be in this material is 17 years old, Judge. Notwithstanding, it's still illegal to have that, but this is not a situation we typically see where it's a minor, an individual under 12, 13, such as that, Judge. My client lives at home with his dad. He has 2 children himself, Judge. He is suffering from certain mental illnesses. He does have psychosis. He does take medication for that, Judge. This is relevant under the court rule that we can consider when fashioning bond. Judge, I think the most important thing here is I'm not aware of any flight risk history. It's just about safety to the public. I think if you were to allow Mr. Gaines a personal or cognizance bond with an order to not use any computers during this time or any social media during this time, or to be in touch with any minors or in communication with any minors at this time, I think we can do our job here today, and especially this court can fulfill their obligations in keeping the public safe through orders other than a monetary amount of bond. So, Judge, I am asking you to consider the personal, consider that he is a lifelong resident of this state, lives with his dad, has significant community ties with that regard of the 2 children, his father, his home in Westland. I think if he were to be let out on personal, he'll show up for his next court date, and to be given those other conditions will ensure the safety of everybody involved.
All right, then. Thank you. We're waiting here from Detective Brassfield. Did he make it back, Mr. Gaines?
Yes. Yeah, I'm right here, Your Honor.
Okay, I just wanted to, good morning again.
Good morning.
I wanted to know if you had any input relating to the bond for Mr. Gaines.
Yeah, we're going to request a high cash bond due to involving a minor and the seriousness of the human trafficking incidents and things like that in society, and some type of tether to know where he's possibly at.
All right. What about prior record? Do you have that?
I have the CCH in front of me. He does have an active warrant. Looks like out of Garden City at this time.
All right. Any convictions?
I do not see any for this type of matter at this time.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you. Okay. All right. So, Mr. Gaines, sir.
Yes,
again,
ma'am.
The court understands that there may be some mental health challenges and that you do take medication. But these charges are concerning. They involve a minor, and you perhaps have some defense to these charges.
Yes,
I have two
minors myself.
I don't want you to talk about your defenses today. This is just an arraignment, okay? You'll have an opportunity to bring those defenses up at a later point in time. But right now, this court is responsible for setting the bond. making sure that the community is protected, okay? And also assuring that you'll return to court.
Yes,
so, with that, the court is going to set a bond, $50,000 cash surety bond.
You said, do I have cash or what?
No, your bond is set at $50,000 cash or surety. And if that bond is posted, sir, you will be on a tether with curfew of 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. All right. Bond conditions, sir, you're not to have any contact with any minors or have contact with any minors, and you're not to use any computers while this matter is pending.
Okay. Understood, Judge.
Okay. All right. You have 2 court dates, Mr. Gaines. You have a probable cause conference that's scheduled for August the 28th. That will be at 9:00 a.m. And then you have the right to a preliminary examination, which is scheduled for September the 4th. That's also at 9:00. Both of those matters will be heard in the Westland District Court, the 18th District Court. Okay?
Yeah, we'll give you all that paperwork. You'll be notified and everything like that. Yes.
All right, then. Okay, take care, Mr. Gaines, sir.
You as well, Judge.
Help you need. All right.
Seneca man is behind bars tonight accused of child sex abuse crimes. State police say 46-year-old Randolph Foligno is charged with 1 count of promoting and 1 count of possessing sexual performance by a child. He is currently being held at the Erie County Jail on $50,000 bail. Anyone with information regarding Foligno is asked to contact troopers out of Batavia. The number is on your screen. It's 585-344-6200. That's 585-344-6200.
A West Virginia man charged after police say he tried to meet who he believed was a 15-year-old girl in Kerwinsville. Police say Benjamin Engel had been messaging with a group portraying an underage girl over the past 2 months. Investigators say Engel acknowledged the girl's age in those messages and sent explicit photos. Police also say the two plan to meet at a park February 21st, and when officers approached the vehicle described in the messages, they say he was inside along with a young child. The child was turned over to Child and Youth Services.
Well, just into our newsroom, a Colleton County man has been arrested and charged with 6 counts of child sexual exploitation. The South Carolina Attorney General's office says 65-year-old John Mark Paget from Cottageville was arrested by Colleton County deputies and officials with the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force after they received the tip that Paget possessed files of child sex abuse materials. If found guilty, he could face up to 10 years in prison for each count he faces.
2 men are facing charges related to the sexual exploitation of children. 62-year-old Mark Lamoth and 21-year-old Caleb Swybacker face a combined total of 13 charges. The state attorney general's office say detectives got an online tip that led them to the men who allegedly had child sex abuse material with them. Lamoth faces 3 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor, while Swybacker faces 10 counts of the same charge. Each charge is punishable by up to 10 years in prison. Both men's cases will be prosecuted by the Attorney General's office.
We're following some developing news out of Newberry Township, York County this afternoon, as police have charged 3 people in an investigation into child torture. Fox 43's Sydney Nauman joins us now from outside the Newberry Township Police Station with the latest details on this case.
Today, Newberry Township Police arrested and charged 3 people, a mother, a grandmother, and an uncle, after officials found evidence of child torture. York County District Attorney Tim Barker says this case is a rare one, as the victims survived. Barker shared the first set of case details in a press conference in the last hour, which included descriptions of a crib cage that had been constructed by stacking one on top of another and adding locking mechanisms. The 2 children, who were 5 and 6 at the time, had not left the house in 2 years and were regularly restrained for long periods of time, according to charging documents. Medical evaluations following their removal from the home showed developmental delay, muscle and fat loss, and signs of dental, medical, and nutritional neglect.
Providers for the children consistently concluded that their global developmental delays, physical impairments, nutritional deficiencies, and behavioral findings were directly correlated with prolonged confinement, neglect, and deprivation.
The individuals charged in the case include the children's mother, Ashley Cardona, the children's grandmother, Lori Cardona, and the children's uncle, Michael Cardona. They face multiple felony charges of child endangerment, aggravated assault, and false imprisonment, among others. Barker says the charges are heavier in this case based on the severity of the abuse. Now, the case does date back to March of 2024, where officials first discovered the evidence of the torturous conditions, after which the children were immediately removed from the home and placed into foster care. Now, Barker told us that both children did have a long road to recovery, including one child who required a full mouth reconstruction due to the severity of the dental neglect. However, after they were removed from the conditions, they did show signs of improvement. Evan?
Well, Sydney mentions charges being heavier in this case because of the severity of the abuse. Is there a specific child torture law in Pennsylvania that the district attorney is talking about here?
Pennsylvania does not have a specific child torture law, which is why even though District Attorney Barker described the abuse as conditions of torture, the prosecutors can only pursue existing felony charges, including, aggravated assault, child endangerment, and false imprisonment in this case. However, Barker did say that prosecutors were able to pursue some of the highest felony charges under state law in this case. I will have a full breakdown of the case and these charges tonight on Fox 43 News at 10. But for now, live in Newberry Township, Sydney Nauman, Fox 43 News.
All right, Sydney, thank you very much.
In western North Carolina, a man is accused of breaking into a woman's home and taking her child. Justin Gath now faces multiple charges, including felony breaking and entering. McDowell County deputies say last month he broke into the woman's home and assaulted her. Deputies say she would not let Gath leave with her child. The sheriff's office says another person in the home tried to call 911 and Gatch assaulted them too. He's accused of then leaving with the baby. He was later arrested and the child was returned to its mother. Gatch remains in jail.
He vapes and he gets high.
But you've never done anything like this before?
Well, he did it to me when I was young.
On February 19th, 2023, officers responded after a report of alleged inappropriate conduct involving a minor inside a family residence.
Hey, how you doing, sir? Good. Is there CPI here?
Yes, come on. Come on in.
Yeah, usually we meet outside. I was like, where's here?
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
So, this is kind of a little complicated. It's alleged that the AP is not here right now. He's at work. For her to come in, she's showing some indication of abuse, but we're not really sure. So, just because she made those indications that something happened, that she was touched somewhere, you gotta have to call you guys.
So this is not your typical. This is gonna be real tricky.
Yeah, it's real tricky.
Okay.
Yeah, it is, but I don't want to walk away.
No, you got to make sure you shake every tree and make sure that you do a complete job.
Yeah, she was there, but he denied ever touching her. But she's saying that he homeless, he lives outside the car, but they allow him to take showers and stuff. But then she told me it was a agreeable sexual encounter that they had. I'm trying to find somebody maybe to come in the home, an extra set of eyes in the home for this.
Okay. Nitty gritty. Names, dates of birth.
Yep. Okay. I got it.
I know you mentioned there's issues with understanding timelines. Do we have any idea when or how long this has been going on?
So based on the one who reported it,
that's
just the one time that she saw them?
Yes. I haven't even spoken to her yet.
Okay.
I haven't spoken to her yet. But from what I'm saying, from what you reported, it was one incident.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, I do plan on interviewing her. I guess if you guys want to talk with her, it happened 2 weeks ago. She said a few weeks ago. And I think she admitted to them that she called. They had a little argument downstairs. We don't disclose, who the report is, but so she kind of told him. She said, yeah. So they kind of knew what was going on, but then they act like they didn't know.
Okay, well, let me go on and see you guys do your little interview and see what we can ascertain.
Do you think you want to speak with the child again? With them? Y'all want to?
For interviewing victim, because there's limitations on how many times that can be done by law enforcement.
Investigators say authorities received a report claiming an 11-year-old nonverbal child with autism may have been involved in concerning behavior with an older sibling inside the home. The report came from an 18-year-old sister who said she witnessed the interaction weeks earlier.
Yeah, we will.
Why I stepped away to do this to call our sergeant to inform our detectives bureau.
But I need to get just a little bit of info on what's going on here, okay, to pass on. So I've been told you walked into a room and saw something, okay? Can you walk me through that, like when it happened?
So it was on a Wednesday where I was going to work.
Okay.
And I was going to tell my older brother I was leaving because my parents were somewhere, I forgot, but so he had to watch Dylan. And so when I walked into, we have like a sunroom and he was playing Xbox. It's down to her knees, sitting on his lap. But like when I walked into the room, he like stood up immediately. And what I saw from an angle was that my brother's hands was in his pants. I don't know what he was doing.
Okay.
That's what I saw. And so I asked him, what is going on? And then he just said to me, oh, nothing was going on. She just sat down on my lap, which she never does. The only time that she would probably sit on someone's lap is me, because we get along like really well. She doesn't do it to my parents either. So I found that really hard to believe that she just sat down on his lap.
And where were her pants?
Her pants were like
at her knees?
Yes, it was on her. It wasn't like on the ground, but
Okay. What day this was? You said it was a Wednesday. Was it like recently? Like was it last week? Was it this past Wednesday?
It was like about 2 weeks ago, like February. It was like the beginning of February.
Beginning of February.
Yeah, February.
10-4. Okay. And does your brother stay here?
He doesn't at night, but my parents let him during the day.
So he's allowed to come here during the day?
He's allowed to come here during the day when they're here.
Okay.
But since they're in the garden or they do remodeling because they're doing something to the house, they told me that they're watching him closely 24/7, and I said, you can't do that because you're like outside or you're doing something, so you can't watch him.
Okay. When you say watch him, do you have any other concerns about him prior to this happening?
He's like, I don't know, he can just do stupid things. And he vapes and he gets high, and so he doesn't think straight. So he'll probably do something immature.
Okay, but you've never done anything like this before?
Well, he did it to me when I was younger.
He did it to you when you were younger? Did you report that?
I didn't because I don't know. I couldn't really tell my parents at that time until now.
So do they know about it now, or?
They know about it now.
So did you tell them when you saw this with your sister?
No, I told them before this happened, and then this happened after. So.
Okay. How old were you when it happened?
Like in elementary school.
Elementary school.
We were both at the time.
Okay. Sorry to hear that. And was it just one time with you, or?
It was, well, yeah, we only did it one time.
Uh-huh.
But there were other times where he asked and I said no. Because
Okay.
I didn't like doing it the first time.
Okay. Okay. And how old was he?
He's like a year older than me. So I don't really know. But I would guess, I don't know. Like, he was probably 12.
Oh, okay. So you guys were both really young. Because
Yeah.
you're 19 now, right?
18.
18.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you were 11 maybe, and he was 12. Okay. Okay. All right. But aside from just seeing her with her pants down and him with his hand in his pants, that's all you observed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he basically, when you confronted him, he just said, she just sat on my lap.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you said he was playing Xbox?
Yeah, he was playing Fortnite or something. I don't know.
Okay. So he was playing Fortnite.
But like he was on a break, so he wasn't like playing, but like he was on like a game. But
So the game was on the TV.
Yeah, the game was on the TV, but he wasn't like playing.
Okay. Okay, I gotcha. And is he related to you by blood, or he is? Okay. All right, and he's allowed to come here during the day. Does he have a key to the house?
No, he just comes in through the garage.
He comes in through he has the code for the garage?
He does, but then sometimes he might have to like call me or my parents because we have like a lock on the garage because Dylan gets out sometimes.
Okay.
Most times she can get out. So we have to just call like someone in the house for them to open the door.
Okay. Okay. All right. And she's 11. She's nonverbal. She doesn't speak. Okay. What would you say her level of, I guess, maturity is? She's 11. Does she function as an 11-year-old? I know is she on the spectrum? She has autism?
I mean, I would say she does act like an 11-year-old, but
Okay.
since she is on the autism level, she might have like some like disadvantages of
Right.
being at that age. But
Okay.
she's fine. She's really smart in doing stuff. So.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, I also believe that she might be like smarter than
11-year-old. Okay.
11-year-old.
Okay. And that's just not normal behavior for her, what you saw.
That's not normal. It doesn't. She never does that. The only time that she would sit was on her lap is me with clothes on.
With clothes on.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Does he? Where does he stay? Where does he live? Where does he sleep at night?
Well, it really depends on where he sleeps. He could either sleep at Wawa or at a park, but
Oh, so
he
he's
sleeps in his own car.
In his
He
car,
doesn't- He
okay.
can't sleep here.
How long has that been going on that he's been staying in his car?
I mean, before my mom or dad said that he couldn't sleep here anymore, he was doing it before.
Uh-huh.
But I would say that when my mom and dad did tell him, I think it was like a week ago.
A week ago? Oh, okay. So it's recent.
Yeah, it's pretty recent.
Okay.
It's basically like after the time that I told my mom that what happened with them and
Okay. And
Officers discovered her brother, and everything shifted when he came face to face with law enforcement. Officers already had all the evidence and interviews from one side, but now they had to hear his story. His reaction left the room momentarily silent.
you told your mom a week ago then? About a week ago that this happened?
yeah.
Okay. And then yesterday you called DCF? Okay. Did you call or your mom called?
I did.
You called.
My name is Detective Carpenter. I work for the Winter Park Police Department. I was hoping to talk to you about a case that I'm actually working. Would you have some time to talk to me? Sure. Can I'd like to get, before we dive into it, I'd like to get some background information on you. Where are you from?
Vietnam.
Vietnam? Okay. How long have you been here?
20 years.
Okay. Pretty much your whole life?
Not my whole life because I moved to Florida around like 3. So
around 3?
Yeah.
And you just had a birthday, right?
Yes, sir.
So happy birthday.
Thank you.
Okay. So around 3. Okay. So maybe a little bit less than 20.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you're how old now?
20.
Okay. Okay. Did you come here with anyone else?
My sisters.
Okay. Who's your sisters? And do you know her last name? Okay. So, who else? Did you live with anyone else?
My parents, that's all.
Okay. And who are those folks?
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
Yeah.
The other people you're living with?
No, it's been a while.
Okay.
I just haven't really lived in a while, so.
How long would you say?
Probably like half a year.
Okay. And you've already forgotten your parents?
I don't really know exactly the first name, but I know like the accent, so yeah.
Okay. Now, isn't that vehicle their vehicle?
No, that's my vehicle.
It's your vehicle?
Yeah.
Okay. But is it registered in your name?
No, it's under my parents.
Okay. Okay. I just find it interesting that you lived with them for almost 20 years. You say that they're your parents, but now you don't remember their name. Is there any reason that you would forget that?
I have ADD, so and I forget things. So
that makes you forget things?
Yes.
Okay. Because before, when we were talking about it, you said the only thing it did to you was made it hard for you to like answer questions and stuff like that. Okay, so that is part of that?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. So, or is there another reason why you just don't want to give me that information?
There's no other reason, sir.
Okay. Just so you know, I already know a lot of this information. The information I'm asking you, I already know most of it. Like, I run the tag. I know who is actually registered to the vehicle, right? Jeffrey?
Yeah.
That's your father? Okay. So you understand where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
Like, so that's your father? You know his name?
Yeah.
Okay. Why didn't you want to tell me that?
Really, no business to know.
Okay. Okay, but wouldn't it? You're already lying to me. I'm just trying to have a conversation with you, and we're kind of starting off the beginning, and you're just being dishonest. To me, I'm just trying to get to the truth. You understand? Does that make sense? Okay. You know, I don't know. It makes it hard for me to understand if you truly don't know things, because it would be different if you were like, I don't want to tell you, right? That would be different. But you just said you forgot. So, forgetting, is that a part of your ADHD, or were you just not telling me?
I do forget things.
Okay, but do you remember who your parents are?
Yeah.
You do? Okay. So you're just not telling me who they are?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I'm trying to get at. I'm trying to get to the truth, right? I'm trying to get some like honest answers, that kind of thing. Okay. Do you have any idea what I would be wanting to talk to you about?
No.
Nothing you can think of? Okay. Now you said you moved out about 6 months ago. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Is that like okay? So what happened?
Family problems.
Okay.
I just didn't like following their rules.
Okay, that's fair enough. I mean, it's when I got turned 18, I didn't want to live at home either, so I get that. Okay. Was it that there was some allegations made?
I don't even know.
You don't know? Did someone accuse you of doing something?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think that's maybe what I would be here wanting to talk to you about?
I don't really like talking about that stuff.
Okay. All I understand you don't
I'm
really.
not interested in that stuff. So.
Okay, I understand that you might not be interested in that, but I'm trying to figure out what exactly happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. So, and you don't have to, but I'm trying to get to the bottom of, like, someone's accusing you of something, and I'm trying to get your side of the story, okay? This is where you have the opportunity to tell me your side. Otherwise, all I have is the other person's side, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Did you want to talk to me about what happened that day? You don't? Okay.
No, sir.
Okay. Would you be willing to talk to me about anything else?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you're just telling me that you are refusing to talk to me about that incident that happened?
Yes.
Okay.
Although initially he refused to cooperate with officers, stating he did not want to discuss the case and likely believing this could help him avoid accountability. Daniel was later arrested after investigators gathered sufficient evidence. What's your take on situations like this? Share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more real-world case breakdowns.
Broken clock on the back wall, counting down till the last bell rings. You lock the door with the plastic smile, say this is just our little secret thing.